Is buying a home during a recession worth it? Buying a home during a recession will get you a better deal. The number of foreclosures or owners who have to sell to stay afloat is going to increase. Typically, this is going to lead to more homes being available on the market and those home prices actually being lower. However, because this recession is unlike any other, every buyer will be in a unique position for a major financial situation. If you work in hospitality, for example, your current financial situation is drastically different than someone who's able to shift into working from home. Only you can know whether buying a house during a recession is achievable for your family, but there are some factors to consider. Some pros of buying a home during a recession. If you are looking at homes during this time, there are some benefits. The first one we talked about was a lower price. So during a recession, there are usually less buyers. Everybody's afraid to buy. So houses will stay on the market a little bit longer. This makes sellers more likely to lower the listing price so that their home sells easier and becomes more appealing. So you might get lucky and not have to be able to get in like that auction bidding war when you're buying a house. The other thing is mortgage rates. The Federal Reserve typically lowers interest rates during a recession to stimulate the economy. The result in banks lowering their rates usually happens as well. Not all the time, however. With a lower mortgage rate, you'll end up paying less for your home over the years, depending on how low the rate goes. It could be a significant saving. You also will have the opportunity to possibly buy down points if the rate is too high for your comfort level. Might be a little money up front, but definitely a big payout in the end. Next thing you have is what we call seller concession. As sellers' houses sit on the market longer, they start getting nervous. You can ask for concessions, and this is where they could potentially pay for some of your closing costs and other fees that you have, and even like I mentioned, maybe contribute to buying down that interest rate to make that home more appealing. Now, also in this recession, there are cons. First, we have job uncertainty. This is a big one to keep in mind. Employment rates shoot up during typical recessions, and many jobs are in danger of cutbacks or even elimination. Even if you think your industry or your position is secure, things can change pretty quickly. Remember, a mortgage is just one of the costs of homeownership. You don't want to find yourself in a foreclosure situation or in a house that you just can't ultimately afford on top of other home maintenance and utility expenses. So make sure you are in a really secure job first and foremost. Banks are less likely to lend money, so they understand how the economy works and how uncertainty can affect people's jobs. So they're less likely to approve mortgages out of fear that they'll have to foreclose on a home later if someone loses their job, which can be a lengthy legal situation. Then we've got title issues. If the current owners of the home you want to buy went deep into debt or even into foreclosure, they may have title issues that affect your home's purchase. Make sure your title company search is super thorough. You don't want those red flags coming up last minute. There also could be difficulty in selling your home. If you need to sell an existing home before you can buy a new one, this might be a problem during a recession, having that contingency. Depending on your local market, like ours, you might get less money than you would have expected for your home, or your home might sit on the market longer before selling, therefore affecting the contingency and the ability for you to actually go under contract on another one. The other thing we have is competition. Although there might not be as many home buyers during a recession, you might find yourself competing for a home with maybe investment companies. These companies know that prices are lower during a recession and sellers are more likely to throw in some perks, and they're there to make a profit. So they might swoop in and cut you out. You'll have to take an honest look at your current financial situation, weigh the pros and the cons carefully, and then decide if buying a home during this time is actually right for you. But if you are certain about your finances and your financial future, you could actually end up getting the dream house because it is more affordable, it's more negotiable, and you're not competing it with everybody else.